Alright, now in this part of the tutorial we're going to be working on the front bumper of the vehicle, but before we get started I need you to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't. And I would also appreciate if you consider supporting me on Patreon. I want to say thank you to my two patrons, Steven and Derek. I thank you so much for supporting me over on Patreon, and I would appreciate it if you guys could do the same. Now let's get started on the vehicle. Let's get into the front view. And this is a section we're going to be working on, the front bumper. Okay, so before we begin, I want us to take the previous the previous piece, which is the hood, and we're going to take this edge over here, and we're going to get to the side view. I'm going to press Shift and D. Let's go into wireframe. I'm going to press Shift and D to duplicate this, and then let's move it down here onto the blueprint line. So let's get onto the side, and I'm going to press G until it is aligned diagonally with the piece we have on top of it. So let me just press G and move it down some more to about there. Alright, now I'm going to take this vertex here. I'm going to press X and dissolve that vertex. We're going to be dissolving all of the extra vertices that are supporting the mesh. Alright, so I'm going to dissolve these two vertices here as well. I'm going to take this one and dissolve it as well. So I'm going to move this in a y-axis just so it is aligned with the one on top diagonally like that. Now I'm going to take that whole edge and I'm going to press P to separate the selection. Now I'm going to take this piece here. Let's go into edit mode. And let me just make sure there's no other vertex next to it. And I think there isn't. So let's get into wireframe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this all the way down to about, let's say here. All the way down to here should be good. And I'm going to add in about 4 loop cuts. I'm going to align this with the blueprint line very nicely. Alright, now I'm going to get into the front view and align it in the front view as well. Alright, very nice. Now let's get back into the side view and let's do the same thing over here. So I'm going to take this vertex here. Let me just move it to the center of the blueprint line just like that. Okay, so just taking a look at the middle line here, we want it to be aligned with it diagonally. So I'm just going to move it a bit in the y-axis to about this side right here. Alright, so let's take that vertex and let's extrude it all the way down just to match up with this one we have over here. So I'm going to take this vertex, take that one, and I'm going to press S and then Z and type in 0 just so they are aligned vertically from in the z-axis. So just make sure this is your active element and then press period and choose active element and then press S and then Z and type in 0 to scale them in the z-axis on the same level. And I'm going to add in 4 loop cuts in here as well, and we're going to align it on the blueprint line just like the one on the left. Alright, so once we've done that, we're going to get into the front view and make sure it is aligned in the front view as well. Alright, very nice. So now what we're going to do is to take this vertex here and then hold on control and right click on this vertex as well. I want to press W, choose loop tools and choose space, okay, just to even out the space in between those vertices. We're going to do the same thing over here as well. Alright, now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and I'm going to press F and take these two and press F until we get to the bottom area right there. Alright, now I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here and add in 2 loop cuts, and let's get over to the top view. Now what we're going to do is to press Alt and S, and I'm going to shrink this out to follow the blueprint line just like that. I think that should be good. Alright, now we can take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F, and we can take these two and press F twice. Alright, so that area is looking good. Now let's get onto the side view and let's proceed on with this. Now I'm going to take this and then extrude it all the way down here. I'm going to add in an extra vertex in the middle here and move it to the middle of the blueprint line over here. Now let's get onto the front view and align it in the front view as well. So we're going to move this in the x-axis all the way to here as well. Alright, now let's get back to the side view. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to extrude it down to about the middle here. I'm going to extrude it one more time to about here, like this. And I'm going to extrude it all the way down to here. And now let's get onto the front view and align it in the front view as well. Alright, very nice. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to extrude it in the x-axis all the way to the center. Now there should be a mirror modifier already on this mesh, so once we move it into the center, it's going to merge just like that, and I'm going to move it in the z-axis into the middle of the blueprint line like that. Alright, very nice. So let's get into the top view and let's align it in the top view. So I'm going to pull this back to about here. I don't know which blueprint line it is, but I think it's this one right here. Let's get onto the side view and get a better view. So I think it's this one right here, so I'm just going to move it in the y-axis all the way to about there, and that should be good. Okay, so now we're going to press Ctrl and R in between those two vertices right here, and I'm going to press G and then move this to about the middle of the blueprint line here. Or let me just move it to this side instead, just so it is aligned with this two blueprint line over here before it starts to bend to the top, just like that. And now let's get onto the top view and move this in the y-axis to match the blueprint line over here as well. I think it's the first line, so let's move it forward a bit more to about there. Now I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, and I'm going to add in about, let's say, 3 loop cuts in here, and I'm going to go over to the top view. I feel like we're going to be adding more vertices in the middle, but let's just start with 3. Okay, so just align those with the blueprint line like that, and that should be good. Alright, so I think that is looking good so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the top view, and let's add in some more vertices in the middle here. So we're going to add in about 5 in the middle here, and I'm going to move them onto the blueprint line just to match with the blueprint line. Alright, very nice. Now let's get into the front view and make sure they're aligned in the front view as well, which they already are. So that is looking good. Very nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to take the vertices from here all the way to the side. So just right click on this one, hold on Control and right click on this one, and let's press E and then Z and extrude this in the Z axis to about here. Now let's get onto the side view. Alright, now I'm going to move it in the Y axis all the way to about this point right here, just to match with the blueprint line, but I'm going to extend it a bit to this area right here, just like that. And I'm going to take those exact vertices again, so from here all the way to the center, and I'm going to get to the side view. I'm going to extrude it in the Z axis just to match the blueprint line, as you can see right there. And now let's get onto the front view and let's see how we can continue with this. So I'm going to take this vertex here and I'm going to extrude it all the way to where it starts to bend. I think that's about here. So I'm just going to press G and move it to about this side. Let's get onto the side view and make sure it is following the blueprint line. So I'm just going to move it in the Y axis to about here. Now let's get onto the front view, and I'm going to extrude this to the center of the blueprint line right here. Extrude it one more time to about here, and I'm going to extrude it one more time all the way down here like this. And now let's get onto the side view and align them on the blueprint line. Alright, very nice. So now we're going to take this vertex now, and we're going to take that one and press F. Alright, so let's get to the front view, and I think we do need a vertex here in the middle. So I'm just going to press Ctrl and R through here to add one more in the middle here. Let's get onto the top view and move it to the middle of the blueprint line like that. I want to add one more in between them again, just for the extra vertex down below. Alright, that is looking good. Now I'm going to put 2 more in here, and I'm pretty sure you can guess why we're adding 2 more in there. So I'm just going to slide this forward to about here, and I'm going to take this and slide it forward to about here as well. Now let's get onto the top view, and let's see how well we can align this. So I'm just going to I'm going to move this in the Y axis. Let me get to the side view. I'm going to move it in the Y axis just so it is aligned with the one on top. And I'm going to move this in the Y axis as well, just so it is aligned with the one on top. Alright, very nice. So I'm going to take these 2 vertices and press F all the way to about there. I think that should be good. Okay, I'm going to move these in the Y axis a bit because they're not quite aligned. Let me take a look. Alright, that should be good. And let me move this a bit more in the Y axis as well. Alright, not bad. I'm just going to pull this out a bit and pull this out just a bit more. Alright, very nice. Now let's get onto the front view and let's proceed. Okay, so I'm going to take this vertex here and I'm going to extrude it in the Z axis all the way up here. Extrude this all the way here. Extrude it down here. And then all the way down here. And now I'm going to take these 2 and press F. Now let's get onto the side view and let's see how well we can align this. So as you can see, it's pulling in this direction a bit. So I'm just going to exclude this one. I'm going to move it in the Y axis, exclude that one, move it in the Y axis, exclude this, move it in the Y axis, and exclude that one, and move it in the Y axis. Now let's get onto the side view so we can see this much better and align it with the blueprint line. Alright, very nice. So now I'm just going to press Ctrl and R through here, add in an extra vertex, and I'm going to move that up here to about this point. And I'm going to add in one more over here as well. I want to move that also up here to about there. Let me take this and move it to about here. And I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. First, let's get into the front view and make sure this is quite aligned. As you can see, some of the vertices are moving around. Alright, very nice. I think that is looking quite good. Let me take this one right here and let me move it in the Y axis like that. Yeah, very nice. I'm going to take this one as well, move it in the X axis like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F, and then take these 2 and press F to about here like that. Okay, I think that is looking good. Let me just take this one and pull it in a bit, just like that. Alright, now I'm going to take that 2 and press F, and that should be looking good. Okay, nice. Now let's get onto the side view, and I'm going to press Ctrl and R3 here. Let me just slide this to match this one right here. And I'm going to take these three and press F, and I'm going to add in another one over here. And I'm going to take these two and press F, and I'm going to add in three more here. And let me slide this forward to about here. Let me slide this forward, and let me slide this one as well forward. And I'm going to take these two now and press F all the way to the last one there. Alright, very nice. So I'm going to take these ones, these four right here. Let's get onto the top view, or maybe to the front view, and let me move this in the x-axis, okay, to about here. And I want to take this as well, move it in the x-axis to about here. So we're just going to be pulling it out, because if you take a look at the reference image here, you can see it dips in a bit. So we're just going to pull those vertices out just to kind of give it that look. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it out. Let me get into the top view. If that kind of shows us what we're looking at. I feel like it's this one right here. So let's move it onto the blueprint line. And then this one next onto the blueprint line. And that one next. We're just going to move them onto the blueprint line below it. Alright, very nice. So you can see that is looking really good. Let me get to the top view and fix any other problems we might have. I think this one right here. Yeah, let's get to the top view, and yeah, I don't think it pulls out. Let's keep it right there, because you can see the blueprint line here, which crosses this blueprint line right here. It goes all the way in here, so that's pretty good. Alright, now let's get onto the side view, and I'm going to press Ctrl and R3 here, and I'm going to slide this all the way to about this point, and press G and move this down. Let me slide this back here a bit, and let me press Ctrl and R one more time, press G, move that all the way to about here, and I'm going to add in an extra 3 vertices in the middle here. And now let me take 1, 2, 3, 4, and press F, and I'm going to take these two and press F all the way to about there. Alright, that is looking good, but we have a bit of an issue here, so let me take this and then move it in the x-axis to about here. And let's do the same with the rest of them. Alright, not bad. Now let's get into the front view and let's see how we can fill this area much better. So I'm going to take these two and press F. Alright, and now what we're going to do is, let me take this and then slide them in some more. So all the way to about here. And I'm going to take all of these, press W, choose loop tools, and choose space, just to even out the space. And I'm going to knife this from here all the way to about down here, like this. And let's delete this face in the middle here. Just the faces. Alright, nice. Let me fill these back in. And I'm going to press Ctrl and R in here, and then add in one vertex, add in another one over here. And I'm going to add in one more down here as well. So let's get to the top view and let's align them very nicely. So I'm going to take this, pull it out onto the blueprint line. And I'm going to pull this out or keep it there if we can. Doesn't really matter. Alright, not bad. Now let's take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. Take these two and press F. And I'm going to take these two now and press F all the way to about there. Alright, that is looking good. So let me take the whole mesh and I'm going to press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. And you can see that is looking really great. Now let's get on into the front view. And I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to extrude it to about here. Extrude it all the way up here to about there. And now let's extrude it. First of all, let me align this better. And now let's extrude it all the way to about this point right here. And I'm going to extrude it all the way to the top. Let's get into wireframe so we can see this better. So to about this side right here. Alright, good. Now let's get onto the top view and let's align it in the top view. Now I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to hide it. Now let's get to the top view and let's do this. Alright, so I'm going to take this vertex. Let's get to the top view and align it with the blueprint line right here. Let me get to the side view and pull this here. I'm going to pull this in the y-axis to fall on the blueprint line as well. And let's get all the way down here. I'm going to pull this all the way to here. And finally, I'm going to pull this all the way to here. Alright, nice. Now let's get onto the front view and let's do this again. So I'm going to take this vertex here. I'm going to extrude it all the way to about this side right here. Let me get onto the side view and pull it in the y-axis to about, I think there should be good. Yeah, and let me pull it in the z-axis a bit, just like that. And now let me get to the front view again. I'm going to extrude this all the way down to about here. Let's get onto the side view and then align it to about there. Let me pull it in the z-axis a bit, just like that. And I'm going to get to the front view again. I'm going to extrude this all the way down to about here, like this. Press G and move this here, and I'm going to extrude it all the way here to the middle and extrude this all the way down here to here. I'm going to press G, move this here, and let's get onto the side view and align this much better. Alright, very nice. Now let me get to the front view again, and I'm going to extrude this all the way to about this point right here. And this is the point where we start to use our eyes, because this is not visible. It's not too visible in the reference image we're seeing. So let's try to eyeball this and then move this in the x-axis to about this point right here. Let me get to the front view and let's extrude it all the way to the top, and then we can do that. So I'm going to extrude this to about here. Let me press G and move this here. Extrude this all the way to about here. And I'm going to extrude it all the way to the top. Now let's bring that piece that we hit. Let me press Alt and H to bring it back so we can see where we can align this vertex here. So let me just press G and move that up to about here. Should be good. Alright, nice. Now I'm going to add in 4 extra vertices in here. And I'm going to press G and move this up here. Take this, press G, move that here. Take this, press G, move that here, and take this and press G and move that here. Alright, I'm going to take this piece here and let me just make sure it's quite even as it gets to the top. Let me take this one as well and move it all the way here. Now we're going to eyeball this, or before we actually proceed, let me take this vertex here. Let's zoom in to this area right here. I want to pull this in the y-axis to about somewhere here like this. And I want to take this as well and pull it in the y-axis all the way to about there. Alright, very nice. Now, you know what? Let's delete the rest of these vertices. And let's take these vertices here instead. And let's extrude it in the y-axis to about here. And let's get onto the front view. And let's move it in the x-axis to about there. Just that simple. Alright, very nice. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. I think that's looking good. And I'm going to take this vertex here and move it in the y-axis. Or maybe not the y-axis. Let me just press G twice and press C to slide this in that axis all the way to about there. I think that should be good. Alright, now let me just move it in the x-axis, because as you can see, it's not following the line match. So let's get into the front view and then align it better. Alright, not bad. I think that's pretty good, yeah. And I want to take this and let's move it in the y-axis to about here. And let's take this as well, move it in the y-axis to about there. Let me take these two and press F twice so we can see this much better. Alright, not bad. Let me take this and move it in the x-axis a bit. Let me get to the front view. Let me just move it in the x-axis a bit to about here. Okay, nice. Very nice. Alright, I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here. Just Ctrl and R through here, and let's get onto the side view. And I'm going to press G and move this to about this point right here. I know it doesn't follow the blueprint line, but if you can take a look at the reference image, you can see it kind of bends towards the end over there. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. And that extra vertex is actually going to help us in some way. So I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here and add in an extra vertex. Let me slide it to about this point here. And let me get onto the top view and let's align it with the blueprint line, just like that. Alright, very nice. Now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. And I'm going to take these two and press F. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, just like that. I'm going to take these 4 and press F. And yeah, let me just move this in the y-axis a bit. And I'm going to take these two and press F. Alright, not bad. Now I'm going to take these 4 and press F. Alright, nice, nice, nice. Okay, so I think we need an extra vertex in the middle here. So let's add that in. And let's go over to the top view and let's align it with the blueprint line, just like that. I think that should be good. Yeah, that's good. Alright, now let's get on to the front view. I think I'm going to slide this a bit to about this side. Take this and then slide it to about this side. I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide it to be underneath this vertex right here. So we have 2 vertices in the middle here and only 1 on this side. Alright, now let's go to the top view and then align it with the blueprint line much better. Alright, I'm going to slide this back a bit more to about here. And let's just apply loop tools on these edges here. So loop tools, space, and loop tools in space. Alright, nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to take these 2 vertices here. And I'm going to press F all the way to the top. Very nice. And what I'm going to do now is to take, first off, let's add extra vertices in here. So we're going to add in about 5 loop cuts. So let's add in 5 loop cuts in the middle here. And let's get onto the top view and make sure it is aligned with the blueprint line. But that blueprint line is not visible. So we're just going to keep it that way. And I want to take these 4 and press F. And then we're going to take these 2 and press F all the way to that point there. Alright, not bad. I'm just going to take this and then pull it up in the Z-axis a bit. Up to about this point. Alright, now let me just slide this. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but I'm going to slide it a bit just to about that point like that. And I'm going to take this one as well, slide it in just to about that point like that. Alright, not bad. Okay, so right here what we're going to do is to press Ctrl and R through here, and we're going to add in two loop cuts to this point here. And let's get onto the top view. I'm going to press Alt and S and then shrink this out to about here. Or let me take this one right here, these two vertices, and I'm going to press G and move them onto the blueprint line first. So just move them onto the blueprint line like that. And I'm going to take all of them except for the ones at the top, the ones we just aligned. We're just going to leave those. And I'm going to press Alt and S and then shrink this out to fall on the blueprint line just like that. And that should be good. Alright, now the final thing we're going to do, first off, let me take this and then slide it to match the direction much better. Let me take this and then slide it back and slide this back, and I'm going to take these two and press F all the way to there. Alright, I think that is looking good. Alright, so now I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, and we're going to add in about two loop cuts in the middle here, and let's get on into the front view. And I'm going to take the first edge here, and I'm going to move it onto the blueprint line, so it's in the middle of the blueprint line on both sides. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Alright, that is looking good. Now what I'm going to do is to press Ctrl and R through here, and let me add in about two more on this side. And I think I'm going to shrink it out a bit. Let me get to the front view. I'm going to press Alt and S and then shrink it out until these two vertices here are falling in the middle of the blueprint line just like that. And now I'm going to take this one and then slide it in to about this point. And I'm going to take this one as well and slide it in to about that point. Alright, I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, and I'm going to press E and then F to align it with the one below to about here. And I'm going to take this one and then slide it in to about there. Alright, I want to press Ctrl and R through here as well, press E and then F, align it with the one below, the one on top, just like that. And let me get onto the side view, and everything is very much aligned there as well, so we're good. Let me just get on over here. Let's take a look over here. I think it's pretty good, but I'm just going to move it in the y-axis just a bit more. Now I'm going to take this whole piece here, and I'm going to extrude it in the y-axis. So E and then Y, and I'm going to extrude it in the y-axis to about some point like that. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to press E, and then Y extrude it to about this point like that. Alright, so now we're going to go onto the side view, and we're going to finish this side over here as well. So I'm going to take this piece here. Let me just take all of these from here to here. I'm going to press E and then Y, extrude this to about here. And let me align it on the blueprint line much better. Alright, very nice. Now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to press F. Let me take this and then press G and move this up to about this side. And I'm going to let me take this and extrude it all the way to about here. And I'm going to take that 4 and press F as well. Alright, so that is looking good. Now we can go ahead and then start adding in supporting edge loops. So let me just click on Objects and select Shade Smooth to shade the surface very smooth. Now let's go over into Edit mode and start adding in the supporting edge loop. So I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here. I'm going to add one in here. Let me get to the side view. And let me go into wireframe so I can see the vertex on the other mesh. And I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, press E and then F, and align it to about this side, like this. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, and then press E, and then align it with the one on the right, just like that. But if you may have noticed, you can see it didn't go all the way down. So we're going to take this vertex here and then hide it. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, press E, and then align it with the one on the right. And I'm going to press Alt and H to bring everything back. Let me just take this and then bring this back a bit more to about there. And I'm going to take that, press M, and then choose at last, just like that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and adding supporting edge loop to the necessary areas. I'm just going to time lapse through this one, but you should be able to see what I'm doing. Now if we go down here, what we're going to do is to press Ctrl and R through here, and I'm going to press E and then F, and align it with the one on top. And I'm going to do the same thing over here as well. So press E and then F, and align it with the one on the bottom. Alright, very nice. So I'm going to get over here, and I think we're going to leave this side as it is. We're not going to do anything to that side. So let's get on over to this side. And what I'm going to do is And I'm going to knife this from here all the way to here and then all the way to down here. And I'm going to take the rest of the edges here and I'm going to dissolve it, and I'm going to take this one as well and dissolve it. And I'm going to take these two here and press J, take these two here from here to here and press J. Alright, so that's going to cause some problems here, which we would have been able to fix were we to be using a shrink wrap modifier, but there's no shrink wrap modifier going on, so we're just going to keep it as it is. It's not going to cause much problems because if you take a look down here, it's looking almost the same. Alright, very nice. So what I'm going to do now is to press Ctrl and R through here. No, not there, through here. And I'm going to press E to align it with the one on the inside and pull it as close as we can to about here. And that should be good. And I'm going to do the same thing here as well. Press E and then align it to the one with the one on the outside, just like that. Alright, so I think that is looking good. Let's go ahead and enable the subdivision surface just to see this much better. Alright, so I think that is some good results, but I'm just going to do one more thing over here. Let me just take all of the vertices from here. That's these ones right here. Let me just disable the shrink wrap real quick. And I'm going to take all of the ones here, and I'm just going to press Alt and S and then shrink it out just a bit, like that, just to make it look much better. And I think it is. Very nice. Alright, I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here as well. Press E and then align it with the one on the outside and pull it as close as we can, just up to about there, like that. Let's make sure it's not causing any issues up here, which it isn't, and I think that is looking good. Alright, so yeah, that is some really good results. If we enable the subdivision surface, you can see it looks even much better. Alright, very nice. So we can go ahead and add in a solidify modifier real quick, and we're going to add it in as only rim, and we're going to enable high quality, and we're going to enable the even thickness. Now let me go on up here. I'm going to press Ctrl and R and then add in an extra loop cut up here. Pull it close to that top area right there, just like that, and that should look good. Alright, very nice. And now let's add in some down here as well. So let me just take this and then hide it real quick. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, press E to align it with the one below and pull it as close as we can. And I'm going to do the same thing here, press E and align it with the one on the left and pull it as close as we can. I'm going to press Alt and H and then take these two. I'm going to press M and I'm going to merge it at the first, just like that. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here as well. First of all, let me add it in here. So press E and pull it down to about this side. And now I'm going to hide this one right here. I'm going to press Ctrl and R, press E, and then align it with the one below. And let's press Alt and H to bring everything back. And I'm going to take this and then that, and then merge it at the last, just like that. Alright, very nice. I think that is looking really, really good. Alright, let's get on over here and let's press Ctrl and R through here as well. Press E, and then align it with the one on the right. Pull it pretty close, just like that. Alright. Really nice, really good. Alright, now we can go ahead and apply the shrink wrap modifier, the subdivision, the solidify modifier, and now we can go ahead and then work around this to fix any issues that may have caused. So let me get over here, let me take this piece and get into edit mode, and I'm going to take all of the extra vertices here. So this might be a bit tricky, but just take a look at the vertices I'm trying to select here. So I'm going to select this vertex, and I'm going to delete those vertices, and I'm going to select the next one as well, that's this one right here. I'm going to delete that vertices, and let me see. Let me take the rest of the vertices here and delete those vertices as well. Alright, very nice. Now I want to take the rest of the vertices here, but first of all, let's delete the extra faces in the middle, because if you take a look here, you can see we have an issue in the middle here. So we're going to take all of those vertices in the middle and delete the faces. Alright, very nice. So that fixes that. And now let's get on over here. We're going to take all of the extra vertices on the exterior here, and we're going to delete those vertices, just like that. Alright, now let me just zoom into this area right here. And I'm going to take this vertex right here and then merge it to the one over here at last, just like that. And I'm going to press V to separate it again. And I'm going to take this vertex and then slide it back a bit to about this point. Alright, very nice. Now I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, add one in the middle, and I'm going to add one in the middle here as well. Now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. And I'm going to take these two and press F. And I'm going to take the rest of the space in here and press Alt and F and then Alt and J. Alright, now I'm going to click on Object and select Shade Smooth, just to smoothing that area a bit more. Alright, so you can see that is looking really good. Not bad at all. You can go ahead and tweak this much further just to make it look even better. Let me take this vertices here, and I'm going to press Alt and S and then shrink it out. Or you know what, let's dissolve these vertices here. Let's dissolve these edges here. I want us to do something real quick. Alright, so let's dissolve these edges, and I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here in the middle. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here as well, hold on, let me take a look at something. Yeah, so let me take this and merge it to the one down here. And I'm going to press Ctrl and Alt through here as well. And I'm going to take these two and press J to join them. I want to take that whole edge and let's get onto the front view. And I'm going to press Alt and S and then shrink this out a bit just to round that area a bit more. Just like that. Yeah, just to round it out. Just to round it out just a bit like that. Alright, not bad. Now I'm going to take this, slide it all the way down and slide it up to the middle again. Not bad. Now I'm going to take all of these from here all the way to here to this side right here. And I'm going to shrink them out a bit more just to follow the curvature. So I'm just going to press Alt and S and shrink it out. That's too much. Just like that. Just to follow that curvature very nicely. Alright, so I think that area is looking good. So let me press Ctrl and R through here, press E and then F, align it with the one below. And I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm just going to hide this first. And then Ctrl and R, press E and then F, align it with the one below like that. And let me press Alt and H to bring everything back. And I'm going to take this and then take that and press M and merge it at the first, just like that. Alright, let me take a look at this area right here. Yeah, let me take this and then pull it out in the x-axis a bit, or maybe the y-axis, just to fix that area much better. Let me take this as well, move it in the y-axis, just like that. Alright, so I think that area is looking much better. Okay, so I think that'll pretty much do it for the front bumper. We're gonna add in more details later in the So let me just take these four here and press F, and let me press Ctrl and R through here, add one in here, add another one all the way down here, and I want to add two more in the middle. And now I want to take these two vertices here, let me just zoom into that area, and let me take these two vertices here and press F all the way to the other side, just like that. Alright, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so this is where I'm going to end this part, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Before we actually do that, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at how this looks in car paint. Alright, so you can see it's looking really good in car paint, and yeah, that's the job well done. So yeah, this is where I'm going to end this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.